Hello, welcome back to Nelson's Underground. We are going under the surface today of Nelson University's chapel worship with our special guest, Caitlyn Hoover. Hello, Caitlyn.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
Good.
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, and let's get right into it. So, you want to start us off with the questions, Ellie?
Yeah. So, Caitlyn, obviously with that introduction, I'm assuming our audience knows now that you're part of chapel worship. But what do you do? Like, what instrument do you play? Do you sing? Like, for those that don't know.
Yeah, so I do not sing. Part of me would love to sing, but I don't think I have the guts to do that. So kudos to the singers out there. But I play bass guitar. So I've been playing now for at least like a part of chapel worship for about a year now. So yeah.
That's awesome. How long have you been playing bass, like in general?
In general, for bass, I learned when I was 11. And so, yeah, I've been like on and off playing at church for about like 12 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Oh, I wish I could play bass. Bass is so cool.
And they're always needing bass players because there's like too many guitar players I've heard. Like that's like a running joke I've heard, like within like the worship community.
Yeah.
Like if they play bass, they're always recruiting you.
Yeah, so basically they're like, hey,
no, it's true, especially last summer.
You're not allowed to leave.
You're stuck here.
Are you on many teams for chapel worship or no?
Throughout the year, or
are you like on
semester?
multiple teams?
I have been on multiple teams.
Mm-hmm.
So last summer I was on 5 different teams. So each summer trip that you go on, you're on a different team. And in addition to I've been on 3 different chapel teams. So this is my 3rd semester.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neat. How many? Were you just traveling all summer?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was working as well. On top of that, in between
Were you living here on campus?
I am.
You were?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
Like during the summer, I was, yeah.
Neat. That's so cool. Well, that's nice to kind of have something to do.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was cool.
That's good.
It was different atmosphere. I liked it a lot.
That's good. That's good.
So thank you for telling us about what you do on the team. How did you, get on a chapel worship team? How, for those out there who don't know, what is that process like? Like, how do you become part of Nelson Worship?
Okay, so the process is, if you're interested, usually what I did, I should say, last spring semester, I just emailed Miss Meredith because I knew that Miss Meredith was the director and in charge of the auditioning. So I emailed her and I was like, I'm interested in being a part of, at the time it was SAGU, but a part of Nelson Worship. And so she's like, yeah, for sure. And so she emailed me back about the audition process, and it was
You had to fill out a form or something?
Yes, thank you. My brain got blank there.
It's okay.
So I filled out a form, and you have to have a pastoral recommendation. Thank you. And so I was able to do that. Pastor Michael from my other church that I was a part of in Louisiana, he filled that out for me. And so, and I was able to get scheduled to audition. And so gave me the times of when I can audition. And it was a pretty tedious process. Not just the forms were okay, it's just with anything about filling out forms, right? But but when I actually went to audition, I practiced 8 hours just for 2 songs.
Wow. Oh my God.
And that's just for me personally.
Yeah.
I know that every musician is different, but I was taking a 2 or 3 year break from playing bass. So for me, I had to
you had to
really get back into it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You're a little rusty.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was so funny. When I first met you, I didn't even know you played bass until I saw you in chapel one day. I was like, oh, that's Caitlyn up there. I'm like, Caitlyn plays bass.
Yeah, that's me.
That's so cool. I think it's also different is I don't see, I do see women playing instruments, don't get me wrong, like maybe piano or guitar.
But specifically bass.
I was like, you go, Kate. I was like, yeah, because I can't, my brother plays instruments. My brother's a musician and he plays, he plays
So many
guitar,
things.
cello, and
I
he's
love
picking.
cello.
Yeah, and he can get around on the piano, but he plays bass too. Like
Nice.
he's learning too. So
Awesome.
yeah, I think it's just cool. Like you're representing in a way, like women representing. I know, like as cheesy as that is, but like yeah,
No, but it's cool though. It's not something you see often.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What did you said the audition process was like a bit tedious? Because how many times do you have to go back to audition?
So usually it's once a year, like in the fall.
Yeah.
But since it was my first time and like my first semester here at Nelson was spring of 24.
Right. That was last year.
Yeah. So I had to audition in the spring and also in the fall.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So you
okay.
just had to do 2 straight.
Right.
semester.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because I was kind of coming in, I guess, an odd year,
Right,
if you will.
right.
That
So.
must have been fun.
Mhm. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't. I mean, obviously, I don't think auditioning is ever really fun. But I remember when we did it, like the first, because we got here in fall of 2023.
Yeah.
We auditioned and I was really nervous. So like y'all, the audition things, like you have to get on the
They put you
on the stage.
Yeah, because like they put
Use
you
the
in little
mics.
teams basically, so, you know, because they can't just like, it's not something where if you're auditioning to sing, it's not where you just go into a room and you're by yourself and they're like, all right, sing me a pentatonic scale, and then all right, give me Goodness of God and key of C or something. That you have to like, they send an email out like you were saying, and they send you a list, they send you the time that you're supposed to come in, and it's like, okay, this is where you're gonna be. You're in this group with 4 other singers, with this instrumentalist, with that drummer, with that keyboardist, with that guitarist, and it's a whole thing where you don't even know these people. You don't know how well you go together. You also just kind of have to, without practicing together, sing as if you were a chapel worship team. Which I actually enjoy that. Because then they can also see, okay, we can see that this person might work better somewhere else. We want them here, but maybe not with this group of people. Like, I like that. Yeah. I mean, aside from it, like it is like work, you have to practice, but I wouldn't think it's not difficult, but obviously it can be.
Well, you can't just not be prepared. Like you can't.
No,
not
I mean, like in
prepare.
the sense of it's not difficult to start getting into the process. So it's not like you have to go through a bunch of different like, who do I talk to? It does seem pretty straightforward, and they do talk about it a lot, especially at the beginning of the semesters.
Well, they also announce it in chapel
exactly.
too. They're like, by the way, we're having auditions this
Come
Saturday
here,
from
come
2
here,
to 4.
learn more. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Like their communication is great. You're not left out. You're not like,
Yeah.
oh, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah,
what's the
you're-
next step?
which is good.
Everything's clear.
Yeah.
So.
That's good.
You can also
What
just
has the
straight up read it.
experience been like? Like, is it more maybe like a more formal environment, or is it like, since you like this is a college campus, like we're all college kids, obviously different ranges and stuff, but has it been a really good learning experience? Because I know we're like all the same age, and then there's leaders that are, leading amongst their own peers. What's been your experience with that?
I've had a lot of different experiences with it, but really good experiences. I've definitely learned a ton.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned about communicating with my team. Like when you have an MD, like I didn't even know like.
And can you explain what is an MD for those who might not know what that stands for?
Yeah, for sure. So MD stands for music director.
Okay.
And also, other side notes, TL is team leader,
Yes.
and then ATL is assistant team leader for the team. So, so it's the experiences is definitely an eye-opener for me. I was just in this little church that I was playing at back home, and now it's like this bigger, playing for a bigger congregation. And
Right.
when I first,
The student body congregation.
right, I was like, wow, this is crazy, but a good crazy. Like, it was really cool. I really liked, just learning how to communicate with my team, learning how to just work well together, especially, like last summer, like I played with all kinds of
Right.
teams,
different, yeah.
Like I played with like 30 to 40 people like last summer, and all together, I should say. And so not at the same time, that would be kind of
I
crazy.
know. I was gonna say, I was like, that's a lot of people.
That would be crazy.
Should have a full choir and orchestra.
That's a whole orchestra,
Yeah.
basically.
I know. Hey, we need that. That'd be great.
I mean, we do have a music program if y'all are. I'm kidding.
Yeah, FYI, no, it's fine. But yeah, so the overall experience, sometimes there's some challenges along the way, especially like for me personally, I still, and I know that my MD knows this, but I still don't really know numbers, like the number system.
Mhm.
And so for me personally, as a musician, that has been challenging for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it seems like for me, I was like, oh, this doesn't seem like hard. And, several of my team members have like, yeah, like once you get it, it's like you're set,
Yeah.
But for me personally, I've just struggled with it, but really because I just haven't put the time into it
Mhm.
to really practice it. Because, college life, y'all.
Yeah,
Is,
no, it really.
I wonder
a
what
little
that's
busy.
like.
I
College.
know. Well, and to be
Yeah.
honest, the degree you're also pursuing, like you have, I mean, you're
History teacher.
Okay.
no, but I
Yes.
mean, like your degree.
My degree.
Your major.
Social studies, education.
Okay, there you go.
Secondary specifically.
Secondary.
Yeah.
So if you have any high school kids, she's gonna be the professor.
I'm actually gonna
She might be the
She
professor.
might be your
might
history
kid's
teacher.
I'm gonna start with junior high, y'all, so pray for me.
Oh.
I'm excited though. I'm excited.
What if on the weeks that you are like on the team, what is like your schedule for practices?
Generally, well, my first semester was different than my second, and then this semester, which is my third. My first semester, we just did rehearsals Tuesday nights, 6 to 9, and they're kind of long, or at least if they feel long sometimes. But yeah, the last 2 semesters, it's been Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 9. Sometimes like we get out a little bit earlier, but yeah. So and
Just once a week, it was.
for my
first.
for my first one.
But now, what does it look like?
Now it's twice. It's Tuesday and Thursday nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So
Obviously, you have to have your team rehearsals, but what about like you individually? Like, do you practice outside of those rehearsal times? Do you have is that something that because I know that for like the auditions, and this is like stricter for instrumentalists too, but like you have to go in already knowing how to play the song and stuff. So going into your team rehearsal, like, do you practice outside of those times?
it just depends, like how many hours I practice. Generally, it's at least like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
If they're newer songs, then I will probably practice like 5 or 6. It just depends.
In a day or like overall?
Like all together, like
Okay.
over
the week.
Yeah, like
Okay.
1 or 2 weeks before chapel week. So yeah.
And then because we brought it up, but we said it kind of like as everyone already knows this, and I'm realizing that people who are listening might not. What is the time commitment throughout the semester when you're part of a chapel worship team? So like you're not playing every single week, every single chapel. How many times do you have to play throughout the semester?
Throughout the semester, it's actually really not that much because there's generally about 5 teams per semester. So
That they make from the audition, like from everybody that's auditioned.
right, yeah.
right.
So like the audition process too, like once you like get in and you're now go from audition, and then like once you're accepted into Nelson Worship, then you go into orientation.
Mhm.
And orientation is where
They assign you to your team.
yes. Yeah, so there's 5 different teams. And so but to answer the question is like twice a semester. So like for 2 weeks, like 2 chapel weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe like an extra chapel day
Yeah.
It'll
or
depend.
2.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Yeah.
But
I think it also depends though, like on the person, because I know sometimes some people are put in various teams. Like if they can play multiple instruments, that's what
Right.
I've heard.
yeah.
So they're not just doing like, those basic 2 weeks. Sometimes they're like 4 weeks out of the semester.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Like for me, like I'm boring. I just play one instrument and that's it.
No,
Like,
you're not boring.
Not boring.
No.
But some people sing and play instruments. Some people like, I know team members that play like 2 or 3 different instruments, and so they're on
Yeah.
like
They're basically
least
playing
1 or 2.
all
Shout
semester.
out Harmony
right,
Frederick.
like at least like half the semester they're playing. So
Yeah.
yeah, but kudos to them. It's a lot of work, but when you have a passion
Yeah.
to play
Oh,
and
yeah.
to worship the Lord, it's great. It really is. So
No, for real. But that's so much. That's great.
yeah.
But I'm glad we're talking about this because I think a lot of people like, because I don't want to say chapel is such a big production, but because it's a Christian school, and I know there's a lot of people who maybe come to school and aren't believers. They're like, oh my gosh, like they're just maybe even if they aren't musicians, obviously musicians would know anyways, but
Mhm.
people who aren't musicians and are not familiar, like it takes a lot of work to do what you guys do and to rehearse and to get it right and to make the time for it. Like,
And then also to make sure that it's not a production, to
Yeah.
make sure that it is from the heart for the Lord and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely what Nathan and Meredith always emphasize with us, for every team, every member that's in Nelson Worship, is that we have that worshipful heart towards the Lord, that we're not just up there. It's never about performance. It's about worshiping God. It's about Him using us as vessels, to reach the congregation, and to have that relationship with God. So
Actually, I'm so glad that was brought up.
Yeah.
Continuing on that topic, like how do you think? I mean, I know you're saying that Nathan and Meredith, by the way, they are in charge of Nelson Worship. They're faculty.
they're
here
amazing
at
people.
Nelson.
Very,
Yes, they're
very
really
sweet people.
really awesome.
Yes.
I know that they encourage that. Obviously, they emphasize that. How does your team, I guess, incorporate that? Like, do you guys have? I mean, I'm assuming you have prayer,
or not just
like
in
you
your
pray over
team,
it.
but how do you
in
see
general,
it in
yeah.
other, members of the
of
worship
chapel,
team?
yeah.
So, like,
worship
how
stuff.
I see it, like, in my team members is what you're
Yeah,
asking?
or like people that you because I know you've expressed, like, when we've had conversations, like, I love the way these people lead. Like, you can tell in their worship.
Yeah, so it's really cool. So usually my experiences is when we have chapel week, we always are in this group text. We are also in colored teams, by the way, so like
That's
which
so
team
fun.
we're on.
What's
But
your team color, Caitlin?
I'm green. I'm
do you have
Best
like
green.
color
do you have like a
ever. I
name
have so
for
many
the
friends who
team,
disagree.
or
Yes, we do.
are you like the
This
Green
is-
Goblins or something?
The green goblins. That's the best you can come up for green.
Oh, well,
come
I
on.
just thought
There's
of-
green grass. There's green
grass is better than goblin?
Yes. Green
We're
trees.
the green gang.
Aw.
The
I love
green
it.
gang. Yes.
Amazing.
GG, good game, guys.
Yes, GG. Yes, my team is great. My team's great. So, but yeah, for to put that spiritual like corporation in there and like practice and just to initiate that is definitely prayer. Like before we even meet together to do rehearsal, a lot of times the team leader and the ATL, they're gonna be like, hey guys, like we're getting ready for chapel next week or in a couple weeks, let's be really praying for like God to move. So like individually, they
Encourage y'all to pray.
Yeah, for sure. And then as a team, when we get together for our first rehearsal, is that a lot of times we'll have like little devotions, little devotional together, and we'll be just asking how we're doing. We're a team, so we're hanging out, chilling, asking how's life,
Right, yeah.
especially the college life, right?
Highs and lows of the week.
Highs and lows. What's your highs and lows?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really cool. It's really community based. Really can be friendship based too. It's really nice. So yeah, we'll pray before we do the rehearsal, and then before every chapel day, we pray right before we start worship. So we'll be praying
Right.
as a team, and a lot of times it's really quick because the time goes down
Yeah.
Right,
really
for
fast.
sure.
Like we'll be practicing.
And then it's
That
like,
morning.
2 minutes, we gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the stressful part sometimes, especially those great in-ears, Yeah, 30 seconds to get on the stage. I'm like,
Stay there, stop falling
But yeah, that's what we do though.
That's
Good.
awesome. Yeah.
It's good.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I'm glad that there is that emphasis. Like, it's encouraging to know, especially considering this is a Christian campus, like that there is that, emphasis on making sure that this is always for the Lord.
Right.
Yeah. Well, since we talked about like the good parts of, I shouldn't say like good or bad parts. That's what I'm trying to say. Since we talked about like your experience and the positive experience that you've seen and you've had, maybe we can talk about like some of the things that maybe are a little bit more frustrating being on worship. Obviously, we talked about like you're busy, like you are like scheduling you for this podcast. We were like, like because you got, I don't say you got a lot on your plate, but you're just.
Actually, this semester's not as bad. So
Yeah.
I'm kinda
Hey,
lazy.
Oh,
It's okay.
no, it's
You
okay.
can still say you
But
have
I mean,
some
you're
fun.
doing stuff and you're trying to balance your work, your school life, your personal life.
Yeah.
your other school life
Yeah.
on the teacher side.
So obviously, like you're
I know,
busy.
it's like doing like 3 schools, y'all. It's crazy.
Well, that's it. That's whack. But are there some things like maybe within the worship environment, I'm sorry, where you wish people maybe wouldn't take what y'all are doing for granted, or is just something that's like maybe just like frustrates you that you can express on here, SAGU appropriate?
Right.
I mean, Nelson appropriate. I'm sorry, Nelson University appropriate. I'm sorry.
Hey, SAGU will always be in my heart.
SAGU.
You can put that in.
We have to
Nelson.
cut it, guys.
I really
Darn
didn't mean to
it.
do that, and it came out. Whoops.
Whoopsies. Okay, yeah.
So are there any like harder or?
Yeah, I mean, just like with life, you have some amazing experiences, and then sometimes you're like, I've kind of had experiences that I wish I didn't have, but I can share like a funny experience.
Oh, please
we're
do.
just-
Yes,
We do
please.
enjoy
Would y'all like
funny
funny?
things.
We love the funny
Yes.
experiences.
Okay, so funny story. So last summer when I was doing these summer camps, I was in Arkansas.
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 I used to really think it was Arkansas because I grew up bilingual, and I was like Arkansas.
Really? You just need to listen to the song. Alabama,
I have heard other people say Arkansas, so you're not alone.
No, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
So
not
people
alone.
do say it
It's
Arkansas.
a common mistake.
If they don't know, if they've never like heard Arkansas or
No.
like seen the word, then yes.
So you're still wrong. You're just not
It's
alone.
because I read Kansas and I never
no.
heard someone say Arkansas. I was like, so Arkansas.
It's
And
very
then I
fair.
saw that video. She's like, what do you mean with this Arkansas?
I think it's stupid. I think it's
It's like,
stupid, but
oh.
that's what it is.
Okay, sorry. Back to your story.
No,
My
you're,
bad, Caitlin.
no, you're good.
Didn't mean to rabbit trail.
So in Arkansas, we have, I was on a team with the MD that I have now, and if he was here, he would probably laugh at me still, and it's okay.
Who was your?
We were all laughing together.
Hey, you can name drop. It's
Can
okay.
can we name drop like who it was? Who was your MD?
Who I have now?
Yeah, maybe I hope I know.
Caden. Yes.
Wait, Caden.
Caden Gabbard.
Okay, I always like last name because I know a couple of Cadens.
I don't know who this
Yeah.
Caden Gabbard is.
Caden Gabbard, me and him have been working together. This is our third semester on the same team.
Nice.
So,
Sweet.
yeah.
Nice. Hey.
What is so he's always like on the piano then?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
He's on the piano and he MDs the
Nice.
team.
MD,
So,
MD.
MD, yeah. But anyways, so when we were at the summer camp, we were rehearsing and the rehearsal was great. We were rehearsing Goodbye Yesterday. And it's like one of my favorite songs. When I first learned how to play, I'm like, this is great. I'm so excited. We were playing a morning service for the students. And, I was playing and I'm like, I wonder why I can't hear myself. That's crazy.
Oh, no.
And then my MD, Caden's like, girl, like, are you playing? And I'm like, yeah, I'm playing. And then I didn't realize until the very last song, of course, had to be the very end when we were done. I was unplugged, y'all.
No.
I knew it.
I was like,
I knew it. I was like, it's coming. I know it's coming.
That's so
And nobody
unfortunate.
knew until I found out at the end.
So
And later that day we were kind of like
so they
all
missed out on
together.
like ding ding.
I know.
Yes. And that's honestly that song really needs a bass player. So
It does.
It was a little empty that morning.
So sad.
Bass is one of those instruments
really have
that
to
you
say
don't
goodbye.
realize like is very important to a song
Yeah.
until it's gone. Because people are like,
Exactly.
well, the drums or like the guitar, but bass really. I mean,
It adds
when they say
so
everything is important, everything in a band.
Yeah,
really.
like you can
Yep.
do stuff without it, or like without like you can just like literally you can pick up a guitar and play a song, right?
Mhm.
But all of the instruments together, like it's like a fuller. Is fuller a word?
Fuller is a word.
Yes, it's a fuller experience. Ah,
One of
There you go.
my
Do know English.
favorite bass players puts it, you don't hear the bass, you feel it, and you can very much.
exactly.
For real.
Yeah.
that sounds like a familiar quote. Who is that bass player? Do you know?
It's Ben Fenton.
Oh my gosh.
We love
I do not
Fenton.
know that person.
We
Oh,
love
he's one of our
professors.
professors?
Yeah.
Yes, he's
Oh, I do know who you're
yeah, and he
talking about.
plays. Yeah,
He
he sometimes
occasionally
plays on
plays.
the worship teams.
Oh,
Yeah.
The blonde
Imagine-
curly-haired man.
Shout
Yeah.
out Benjamin Fenton. We love you,
Yeah.
Professor
imagine
Fenton.
the most millennial-looking bass player you
The
could
most
possibly
millennial
imagine,
that ever
and you've
millennialed.
nailed Fenton.
Wow.
Except it's really awesome. We love you, Fenton.
We love you, Fenton, wherever you are.
Do I? Do I?
Yay!
Please grade my work.
we're keeping it in.
I
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so
I like
funny.
that quote though. That's a great quote. I definitely 100% agree. Is you have to feel the bass. You know, have to feel the
Yeah.
drums. And for me
Man,
personally, like
Goodbye Yesterday without bass. That's so sad.
yeah, it was
Goodbye
crazy.
yesterday.
And later that day, my team was around, outside. We're just chilling, hanging out, and I was like, yeah, guys, I have a confession to make. And they were all like, oh no, what's wrong? And I'm like, yeah, my bass wasn't plugged in, so that's why you couldn't hear me. So they're like,
Oh my
oh no. But no, they
That's
were
so
chill,
funny.
and that's the cool thing, y'all, about like being a part of Nelson Worship is that, it's like we're a team, it's like we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
We all can mess up, and that's okay,
It's
So
not- you don't get crucified. So like I think I'm still on the alternate list. So what that means is that if someone on the team were to go sick, like one of the other background vocalists, if they were to like get sick or have some sort of emergency and not be able to play on their week, last minute kind of thing, they contact the alternates and stuff like that. And I was just curious since I've never actually personally been called on. Has your team, or do you know like how that actually works? Like, have you had to call? Has your team had to have an alternate like fill in for someone before?
possibly. To be honest with you, I can't quite remember, but
It's okay.
it's probably, I would think, because there's times where someone gets sick or has an emergency. That always happens, or it can happen. But yeah, like the last time we played, like Caden was sick, and so we had to have Aaron come in to play with us, to be our MD. And so yeah, but for alternates, possibly, I'm not for sure like how that works, like for the singers and stuff. But I think we did actually have an alternate last time, because there was like one or two other people that got sick.
Yeah.
So
Like, does that affect in any way? I say like the synergy of the team kind of thing. Like, it's like I'm assuming not that much, but also you guys are. I'm assuming you do bond. You get pretty close with your team specifically. So like, does that in any way like affect it, or does it mostly just affect like, okay, we have to make sure that you can actually that you're doing it, that you have the songs down, like. I don't know.
I mean, I think it just depends on the person. Like, if that affects you, when you have like different people coming in for the team. For me, it was just different,
Yeah.
and that's fine. I thought it was fine. Aaron's a great guy as well, a really good MD. So, and Caden, you're a great MD as well. I'm not leaving you out.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm sure he understands your heart.
Yes, I think he would. So, but yeah.
Okay.
So,
Cool. I was just curious about that. But yeah, did you find
Oh
it?
yeah, I did. Now I'm like reading it. I'm like, maybe this might sound cheesy. So forgive me if it does. I don't know who
Cheesy?
said it, but they put it on the back of a fine arts T-shirt, and I just thought it was. My sister is in worship, and a big conversation we've always had, because I grew up a missionary kid and a pastor's kid.
and Nelson worship, or
No, not
Okay.
a Nelson worship. Oh, and my sister's not in Nelson worship. But
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry. Let me clarify that. My sister is still in high school.
oh, okay.
I am the eldest of my siblings. That's why I'm here. Not because I'm the eldest. Regardless, but she does worship, and big conversations that we had were like, people can have. I mean, obviously you can have a talent, but people don't have the heart for worship and stuff. And how you're saying that's such a big emphasis with Nathan and Meredith Jones. This quote just stuck with me. Like, when I saw it, I was like, I need to take a picture of that. So it just says, "Never let your talent take you where your character cannot keep you." And
That's good.
I like that actually.
yeah, I might send that picture to you. I don't know if you want it, but because and obviously I'm not perfect, y'all, and I'm trying not to judge people. Okay. However, sometimes when you're like when a service or in chapel, and sometimes you can see people are singing or people, and you just know in your spirit like you're doing this for your own glory, not for His. Like, why are you even up there? Even though you can sing on tune, this isn't right. But I appreciate that's what your leaders are emphasizing, because it's something I think is kind of
It's
lost,
very important.
especially in this generation. A lot of people, I think it's good to captivate our young audience. Like, we need to be able to reach the masses. We need to be able to reach all sorts of people with all different types of worship music. But if I need to make a whole production for it, like, then there's only so much you can do. You'll have to let the Holy Spirit work in the people.
100%.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that was what I just wanted to add to that.
Yeah.
I like that. I really like that quote.
Good.
But yeah, well, thank you so much for coming on our podcast, Caitlyn. It was an honor to have you. It was a joy to have you.
Yes,
Yeah, I
thanks
was
for
honored to be
coming
here.
on.
Thank y'all.
Thanks for tuning in to Nelson's Underground.
You can check out all of our future episodes on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and any other podcast platform.
Brought to you by the Three Latinas.